Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Mini reviews. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a pair of mini reviews. And these are going to be two films that came out in the last half a year. Over the last half year. And these are films from last year. One I recently watched last month and one I just watched last week. Anyway, these are going to be some weird ones. Well, one's a weird one, one's kind of a kicking one. So, if you're ready, let's start with the first mini review. Okay, the first mini review will be on The Killer's Game, released by Lionsgate last September. This film unfortunately bombed at the box office. Now, of course, like all my mini reviews vids, all these will be spoiler free. Anyway, it focuses on a hitman named Joe Flood who starts out by carrying out an assassination but is spotted by guards. And well, he's falling for a dancer named Maze and helps get her out safely. She tries to thank him, but Joe starts to suffer a headache and leaves before Maze can help him. Well, apparently, soon he finds out he's diagnosed with some kind of disease. The Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. May have mispronounced it. And his physician gives him roughly 3 months to live. Well, he tries to get his friend and handler to put a contract on him, which would allow Mace to collect life insurance off of Joe's death. But, well, his friend refuses. So he tries another one and what have you, but soon he learns he's misdiagnosed, but he's up against numerous assassins throughout this here film and what have you. This film, again, as I've said, bombed at the box office, failing to only make $5.9 million on its $30 million budget. Lionsgate was easily on a humiliating losing streak last year and what have you. The film sits at 47% and what have you on Rotten Tomatoes, where it's saying, while it can be commended for refreshingly casting the reliable Dave Bautista in a romantic role, this otherwise tepid hitman comedy doesn't make many inventive movies on the board. Metacritic has a 36 score, while audiences polled by CinemaScore gave it a B+, and those surveyed by Post-Track gave it a 63% overall positive score, with 45% saying they would definitely recommend it. Well, I don't care what they say. This film may have been a bomb, but I still kind of got to enjoy this film. It had some pretty good kick-ass action, what have you, and some intensifying deaths and what have you with its kills and what have you. Although there were some scenes where blood was kind of a little meh, looked like it was 3D anime or something like that. But anyway, yeah. But I did like the performance that Bautista gave as Joe Flood. He was absolutely really good. The rest of the cast, not too bad. There was Sophia Boutella as May. She was pretty good. And of the hitman, Terry Crews steals the show as Crayon Lovedoll. Boy, I gotta tell you, he's a mean one. Palm Clementif, you know from the Guardians of the Galaxy series, plays Maria Antoinette, a mysterious woman who has put a hit on Joe. There's also Joe's mentor Zvi, played by Ben Kingsley. He's not too bad. The rest of the cast is pretty good. Well, is good for some parts, but not 110%. But let me tell you, this film is mind blowing and it's intense. So to hell with what the critics say. I say they don't know what they're talking about. Sure, I mean, the blood kind of looked a little animated looking from what I saw, but I could be wrong though. But don't take my word for it. Roque Bonos did the score, which wasn't too bad. But again, I think the action was just probably one of the best things in YB, and the kills were pretty good too, despite the well, kind of oddly animated blood and what have you. So the Killer's game, I'd say it's not bad at all. I'm managing to defend that film big time, so I think it's worth looking into just maybe one time though. So since I like Dave Bautista. For my score, I give The Killer's Game 4 stars. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give this an 8.5. Now to the next mini review. The next mini review will be on the 2024 apocalyptic sci-fi film Y2K, released last December by A24. Directed by Kyle Mooney. It features a pretty good cast that includes Jaeden Martell, Rachel Zegler, Julian Dennison, and others. Plus a special appearance by Fred Durst as himself. Anyway, it starts in 1999, where friends Eli, Danny, and Garrett discuss plans for New Year's Eve while their parents are out. Well, Eli has a crush on his classmate Laura, but is too nervous to talk to her despite Danny's encouragement to kiss her at midnight. Well, apparently they watch as Laura and her friends sneak out some alcohol and decide to crash a party held by soccer Chris, Laura's actual boyfriend. Soon, apparently, Eli just watches in dismay when he sees Chris and Laura kiss at midnight until the power goes out suddenly. A student's found dead with a piece of a fan lodged in his head. A toy car arrives on its own and burns Trevor's face with a hairspray and a lighter, easily killing him. And eventually, there's more things that occur. A VCR shoots out a videotape and causes smashing this chick's head. One's head is melted by a microwave, and even a Tamagotchi drills through one's head and what have you. So they're on the run and what have you after just about a lot of people are dead. And soon they even come across Fred Durst. But that again, this is all I'm going to give you because, like I said, these are all spoiler free. Now, my thoughts on Y2K was, it's okay and what have you. It was, but I'd say it was pretty fun though. I did like the kills though, since this is, well, kind of horror and what have you, but it is really a sci-fi film. And I gotta say, it wasn't too bad. The film unfortunately sits at 42% on Rotten Tomatoes, where they say it earns points for ambition and sheer audacity, even if it struggles to keep the laughs coming while maintaining a messy tonal blend. Yeah, it gets messy at times, but it does get a little fun, like, especially in some parts that gave me a little bit of a good laugh. Cinema Score has this at a mere C minus, while Post Trek Pollers gave this a 65% overall positive score, with 50% saying they would recommend it. Metacritic has it at a score of 49, which that's understandable. Unfortunately, this film also bombed at the box office. It only made $4.4 million against its $15 million budget. But still, it had a pretty good soundtrack by Danny Bensi and Sander Jorians. Now, I really liked these kills and why those are pretty creative for these little things to come to life and what, especially when one's create like I don't know, some kind of a junk bot or something like that. But anyway, nevertheless, I thought that was pretty creative and what, and I did like the feel of it being in the late '90s, going into the new millennium. Now the cast I did enjoy. We have Jaeden Martell playing Eli. He was good. Rachel Zegler, who y'all more recently probably had the guts to even see in that disappointing Snow White remake, played Laura. I really loved her performance. Julian Dennison plays Eli's friend Danny. I remember this guy from Chris's Chronicles 2. And there's lots of others. Kyle Mooney, Eduardo Franco, Mason Gooding. There's even Tim Heidecker and Alicia Silverstone even. But the real big surprise was seeing Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit fame as himself. Oh, wow. That I really was not expecting. I was not expecting to see Fred Durst in this film. Because even that's been a long time since I last heard from Limp Bizkit, which I was actually a fan of theirs at the time when they released their album, their sophomore album, Significant Other in '99. Yeah, which believe me, that was still a pretty good album, by the way, even though I have it in edited form. But the heck with it, it was still pretty fun. So, um, but I did like the kills and the creativity of these little things like a Tamagotchi using a drill and a toy car with hairspray and a lighter killing people. Yeah, and then creating and this big junk bot. Yeah, that felt like that was pretty creative and what have you. So, and the story is reasonable and what have you. It may not be that great though. Like well, I feel like I like in the form of Megan though, but nevertheless, it's still pretty fun though. Anyway, I think I would also recommend you give this a one-time watch. So for my score, I'm going to give Y2K 3.5 stars. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give this a 7. So that's going to do it. You can find both of these films on physical media. The Killer's Game is currently available on the Stars app to stream, and Y2K just now came to Max just this past weekend to stream. So you can check them out there. But we all know physical media matters. Okay? But anyway, but as y'all know, I'm kind of taking a break and what have you. I'm too stuffed with. I got too many DVDs and a few Blu-rays, so I just don't have any more room. So I'm giving it up for now. But anyway, that's going to do it for this mini reviews vid. We'll have another one coming up for you later in the week. What did you think of the Killer's Game and Y2K? Have you seen either of these two or both together? Let me know in the comment section below, or if you can leave me your thoughts on one of these films. Leave them for me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel. Get them to know me. Excuse me. May they like to be a part of my Big D Nation. And next time I'll be bringing you a special solo re-review of the one that started all, Bad Boys. So if you like this, check out my reviews for these other films with the stars of these films. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see my review of a recent film with Dave Bautista and Pom Clemente in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Or go to the upper right corner and see my spoiler-free review of a film Rachel Zegler had recently done over a year ago, and that was The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Or if you'd like a little more action that was a much bigger hit for Lionsgate, check out my review of John Wick Chapter 4, which is also spoiler-free in the bottom left-hand corner. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.